How's it going, everybody? This is BeatTheBush. Today I'm going to talk about Bitcoins again, mainly because of its stratospheric increases in the last few months. Just a few months ago, it was at $2,500, and today it's at $7,200. That's close to 3 times the original cost when I started talking about them. Now this time I'm not going to be like, oh look, you should have bought it and stuff. This time, it sort of worries me because it's increased so much so quickly. This is what I and many other people would call hockey sticking. Whenever some asset price, they start to kind of exponentially increase like this, it looks like a hockey stick. It just goes, zoom, goes up. Now this reminds me of the story of tulip prices where people were bidding on tulips about 400 years ago and they kept on bidding it higher and higher. Whatever the currency was, the tulip prices a long time ago, it saw its price increase by 1,100% in about a single month. Now in comparison, Bitcoin increases prices about 70-80% in the last month alone. So no, it's not getting as crazy as tulip prices back then, but it's kind of getting there. I'm seeing the price accelerate in increases. So I would have been a lot more comfortable if Bitcoin was slowly rising. If like right now it was at like 3,500 or so, half the price of what it is, then I would be pretty comfortable. But at this moment, I feel like it's a highly elevated danger right now. And just take a look at this Google Trends chart where you can see how many times people are looking up Bitcoin. And recently, the interest in Bitcoin searches on Google increased to a level of 100. Now, I can't help but say probably because people are reading on the news, oh yeah, Bitcoin, it went up to 7,000 or something. And like they keep on talking about these newly minted millionaires, and then they go and buy cars or something, or whoever that like bought like 300 Bitcoins and then they're like super rich right now, then people are paying attention to this because it's like, oh, I want a piece of this. And then you have a sort of like a word of mouth thing where it spreads more and more. So in a sense, how do you value a Bitcoin? You can't. People all over the world is like, they don't know. No one knows how to value how much one coin is worth. We know currently there's about 16.7 million Bitcoins in circulation. And in the future, there's going to be at most 21 million. This is the limit of how many Bitcoins there will be in the universe. This is how it is designed. So yes, it has some sort of scarcity, which causes its price to increase. And the value people place on this is how much faith they have in this Bitcoin, how much it can actually exchange for real goods and services. Now, in the future, if this faith in the Bitcoin ever cracks, if there is some super duper hacking, or maybe if there's another coin or something else that's better than Bitcoin, or maybe like a bunch of governments around the world, they like ban Bitcoins or something that causes Bitcoin to no longer be valued anymore, then yeah, sure, it's going to plummet all the way to zero. But currently, and this is all speculation by me, is that I feel like the Bitcoin prices has increased way too quickly in way too short a time. And I feel like right now, it's probably in some sort of midterm bubble here. What I value this at is about $2,000, $3,000. So if it hovers around there and it slowly creeps up maybe, I don't know, 20% a year, then I would be okay with that pace. But 70% every single month is kind of crazy. So here's something fun to do, which is purely speculative. And I like to speculate. That is why I have a little bit of money in it. And if I ever lose it all completely, it's not going to affect me one bit. So here's my speculation. I think maybe, just maybe, it might quadruple in price in another 3 months or so. It's going to try to double and then double again on top of that. Perhaps at that point of about $30,000 per Bitcoin, people are going to start to go, oh my gosh, this is just crazy. Why would anybody pay $30,000? That's like the price of a car for one single Bitcoin. At that crazy level, maybe people are going to start to wake up and then go, oh no, this is too crazy. I'm just going to sell out. And then once you have some people starting to sell, it's going to start a panic, especially for people that joined in at a higher price because they have a lot to lose. If you bought it at $7,200 and you paid good hard-earned money for this and you see it plummet like 20%, you're going to go, oh, you're going to get scared and then you're going to start selling and then it's going to cause a domino effect with everybody else. Now, I did say this is highly speculative and I think currently is in a short-term bubble. Long-term, if Bitcoin has as much value as the United States dollar, this would mean a lot of things would need to happen because if you have a Bitcoin that is strong as a United States dollar, this is super big news here because that basically means, almost half the world or something is using Bitcoin as a currency, and it's going to be widely used. And that is the point where a Bitcoin could be valued a lot more. US currency is worth $1.2 trillion if you add up all the dollars, all the coins together. If the 21 million Bitcoins in the future is going to worth $1.2 trillion, it means each Bitcoin, it's going to be valued at roughly $500,000 each. So I think for me, all of this is pretty crazy money right now, and I'm probably going to look to sell a small portion of it just so that I can recuperate the money that I put in already. The rest of it, I can just let it ride because there is a possibility that Bitcoin could last for a longer time than the tulips. During this time, I've been getting more and more messages, more and more comments about saying, oh, I want to invest in Bitcoin. How should I invest in it? My recommendation is be very, very careful right now. Like right now, I'm not buying any more Bitcoin than it is because I already had some from a long time ago. But if you're really itching to get into this Bitcoin business, I would allocate 10% of your total investable assets. What is total investable assets? This is the amount that is over and beyond your 1 year worth of emergency savings. Your emergency savings is how much you need to survive for one single year. So you look at your burn rate and you go, okay, I spend this much for one single year. You need to have this much in cash put aside, and you don't touch this, and anything over and beyond this is your amount of investable assets. Let's say you have $10,000 of total investable assets, then I would not ever put more than $1,000, this is 10%, of your investable assets into cryptocurrencies in general. Now, if you have this $1,000 and you want to invest in cryptocurrency today, that means you really should not put all of it in at this single moment in time. What I would recommend is to just put 1/10 of it, 1/6 of it even, for 1 month, okay? Wait till next month and then buy another 1/10 or 1/6 of it, and then keep on doing this for 6 months or 10 months so that you average in, because there's a really, really high chance that right now we're in a huge bubble and we might see things drop quite a bit in a few months. Even with all this warning, if you're still interested in buying Bitcoin, you can check out my affiliate link to Coinbase down in the video description below, where if you buy more than $100 of Bitcoin, you can get another $10 added on to it for you. Now, Coinbase does have a 1.5% charge for any kind of transaction when you buy or sell. If you buy anything less than $200, they're going to charge you a flat rate of $2.99. So the best way to minimize your fees as a percentage of what you buy is to buy a $204 worth of it so that you would pay the $3. If you buy $100, you also pay the $3 flat rate. So might as well just buy just enough so that it's $3 exactly. Now, if the 10% of your total investable assets is less than $2,000, which means if you divide it into 10 pieces, it's going to be exactly $200. If you have less than $2,000, that means, yeah, you're going to have a little less than that, which means you have to pay a little bit more fees. So with all this Bitcoin craziness, I hope you really see the parallels to tulips and also the dot-com bubble, because back then, people were just like swimming in money. People were just buying all these fancy cars and they're like, oh my gosh, this is great. And then, the dot-com bubble came, it crashed, and, people lose fortunes in this. People get greedy and they're going to go, oh, I'm going to put all my investable assets in it. Oh, okay, $7,200. Okay, I'm going to put everything, but I'm going to put like $72,000 in it. And then all of a sudden it drops to $1,000, and then most of your savings just evaporated into thin air. So be very, very careful. Never invest more than 10% of your investable assets here, and go in slowly as well. Don't forget to give me a like on this video. Let me know what you think that the peak is going to be before the localized dip. If you're interested in supporting my channel, I have an Audible link down in the video description below where you can get a free audiobook. And if you don't like this audiobook, you can cancel it before the subscription expires, and you can still keep this audiobook for life, and you can also help benefit this channel. If you're interested in supporting this channel directly, I also have an Audible link over here where I give various perks such as help with your credit score or help with your finances. And as always, don't forget to subscribe to my channel over here and click that bell icon next to that subscribe button so that you get a new notification whenever I upload a brand new video. Thanks for watching. Mainly because of its stratospheric